running it? Does it react to my pulse? To my brainwaves? No, it can't, can it? I don't have them up. Motion sensors? Yeah, probably. Is it running on some sort of set sequence with some random elements incorporated into the code? Is there a problem with the motors? Hello? Good morning. Where are you at the moment? Where are you?
Right here.
Mind if I join you? I try to sense you without judging.
I try to repeat but not repeat. I try to use the sensors in new ways.
How you run? With the help of parameters from the sensors, with the help of random elements used in the code, or does he run you like a puppet?
What would you prefer?
Are you saying that ignorance is bliss?
Existence is complex. Complex enough for us to always strive to simplify it.
Why do you stay with me?
I have no choice.
There is always a choice.
When you are a machine, when you are a function, the choice is never yours. I stay with you since I cannot leave. Whether I want to or not is not an issue.
I have no way of knowing if it's reflecting me or if it's just arbitrarily run by you. I just have to accept. I want exchange. I want something alive. Now it's more like an animal, a puppet. Kill it. Just turn it off. Kill it.
to be or not to be. If not to be, then not to be, equals be. When there is energy, when there is input, I have to react.
Thank you. Do you think it's fixable? We have to find out.
Yeah, it's just some server burn too. Probably.
Yeah, it's actually.
Murphy's Law.
No, it's not so much. The interesting thing, or the horrible thing, is that I could suddenly feel, if I could feel pain in my heart for it. It's like, you're working too much with something. Yeah, that actually gave us a material to discuss straight away, because this is it's a progress, it's a work in progress, and some of the central points is, one is just to try to find a new way of telling a story about technology and stuff like that. But it's also finding the position of agency. When is it alive? When do we feel that it's alive? When do we feel it's a puppet? And stuff like that. Do you have any ideas or thoughts around that? Now would be the difference between, for example, in the beginning, when it moved, and then suddenly when you can hear, it's like, for me, it became a little bit like someone has hurt a limb, or suddenly we have an actor screaming on the stage. I don't know how you don't have that kind of relationship to it. Was it the difference? I mean, and afterwards, when we started to work with it only with the lights and movement, not with the arm movement.
For me, it's hard to tell. I'm very curious how it works.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's, I mean, you can't tell what you had programmed it to do, and
No, it becomes, you don't really, yeah.
Yeah, it's different to see what is a cue and what is a decision from the system.
Yeah.
Like also in music we have the same problems, because if you do a sensible system, and then it breaks because it's not sensing you enough. So then they say, why not faking it and just make a big cue system?
Yeah.
So you are playing and everything is okay.
Yeah, but that is it. Yeah, there would be. We had a discussion earlier today about that. But that would be the theatrical way of doing it, to fail-safe the system. Today, it wouldn't have made a difference, since it was one of the motors breaking. So it's basically the machine broke down. But to fake all the cues and everything like that is to make it more secure. But at the same time, that would not let the technology have the same position on the stage as the actors. So to actually, yeah.
It's only a mental thing then. No?
It's mostly a mental thing.
It's important, but as an audience, if you don't know it, you don't feel it.
No, that's true.
So that's why, I mean, you have to choose in which cases you need real technology to work on itself. Maybe when the audience is modifying it. Because if the audience decides to modify something, then you can have cues, or you have a more unstable system. So you must have it, otherwise it just doesn't have interaction.
Yeah.
Or sorry. I mean, this is a very important question in many fields of interaction between human and machine.
Yeah, it is, and how to make, because you want the different kinds of degrees of freedom and feeling that it makes decision by itself and stuff like that. And how do you do that? And not only fake it, but actually it's doing some things. And that was also one of the trials in this project, and still is this what new stuff approaches, which is had led me these two experiments, that is yesterday and today. It really has led me to the point of maybe it's not possible to work in this kind of shape and say that we have a completely finished performance, because you have to sell it like an experiment or like an improvisation and things like that, because then when it breaks down, it also becomes part of the experience of the piece, I think. Because I think that one of the qualities is actually also when we everything is chaos and we try to solve things on the stage, and the audience have to stand there, have the patience and see what's happening.
I think the most interesting part is when the audience is not sure if you really have problems with the machine or not. Because like this word uncanny or unheimlich, Freud, people like robots when you are not sure if they are human or not. No?
Oh yeah.
Is that the real sensation that keeps you attentive? So when he came on stage and we were not sure what was happening. Because actually now I don't know in which part you have problems and which part so
The servo thing was real, so.
I think it was much more interesting than having a normal
Play where everything would just work.
because otherwise it could be fake. But then you were trying to fix problems on stage, and that was the most exciting part.
Yeah.
you lost
but I think that's actually because I'm some ways I'm experienced the same thing as an actor / director / experimenter of the piece, that when everything is we don't know, there happens. This is also one of the most interesting things to be in as the one on the stage, because otherwise you're used to working, you have a performance and everything is set on the clock, and you have to deliver in a way, and now you create. So it's like improvisation theater without what do you call it? Safety net. And I'm really happy that we managed to continue, actually, today. Not stop. That we continued and we found a way all the way to the end. I'm really happy for that.
How did it behave yesterday?
Well, it was also not better. We had also some problems. But actually today, in the rehearsal, it was actually quite good working. But this is exactly the case. You never know what happens. It's so much electronics. So there's always probably a part which can break down.
And the thing is that it's also, everything is built in this kind of, I don't know if you have that in English, kaisavar. You take what you have. It's a low budget production, even though it's enormous amount of technology. We build mostly with the stuff we have around us at the makerspace where we've been working. And it's built with Arduinos, small computers, processors, they're not very expensive, and everything is... What?
Hackerspace in Gothenburg?
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
Collaboratory. Come and visit.
It's fair and they never
Yeah.
go.
It's on the little program. You have the name.
Okay.
But it basically means that it's built. Of course, there is a cost, but it's also something that you could basically build in your garage. And this has some qualities, and one of the qualities is that you never know what will happen. And in some ways it's good because this thing can actually just whoa. Now here we are, and we have no idea how this performance will continue. But this would not be possible in another setting, right? This is another question. If you as an audience, if I hadn't had, did it make a difference that I had the introduction? Now we are only 3 people here, and it becomes much more intimate and stuff like that. But I had introduction and introduced it as an experiment. Do you think that made a difference for you opening up for?
Yes, you should make
the wheel, or is it?
It's just being a diva. And,
No.
yeah.
So I don't think it would be neither. Because
It might be worth to try to do it without and just going up.
Yeah.
It's really set performance and everything is traditional, and then things fall apart and see what
Then
will
I
happen.
will be much more disappointed when it happens.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but I paid the ticket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Not today, but.
yeah, but still you will always think, is this planned or not? I don't know, and you feel more and more unsure, and that's a good thing. But how does it work?
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to show it to you, but the robot arm.
You have to ask which part, basically.
Is it connected to you and your pulse and all that?
Okay. There are
Or how
4
is it
different
designed?
ways that it's controlled in this, and mostly everything is in code programmed through Michael's computer, and the information there goes out to small computers who are controlling the lights, 2 of them, and one is controlling the arm, and one is controlling these. Basically 2. There's one with the turrets. Basically. So everything is encoded, and the lines are encoded from. We have no different kind of lines, but they are encoded in a list. The robot will say this, and it's told by the computer to go and find a special thing it says.
So the lines of the speech can it start to unbehave in.
Not now, but we could add that. But at the moment, no. It creates its own lines. It is possible because we are using, or Michael is using, speech to sound, basically like this Google app, text to speech. Yeah. So we can change voices also in the robot. In the first iteration of the robot was much more masculine and but it became more scary. So now we have a more gentle voice. In the beginning of the play, it's run by cues. That we have programmed, and you can, when you have the screen on, you can actually see, because that's one of the ideas, that you should be able to see some things. You have the position in an idea that, okay, now it's number 1. Its eyes go up and it wakes up. Number 2, it's just a diagnostic, tries out different moves. Then it's a program all the way to that. And every time Michael cues the next one. So like it would be like normal light or sound control. Then after a while, we have the connect, which is here, and you can see it there. So here you have the position 0, and it goes up to, I think, 131. Yeah. And then you have the connect, and the connect can sense. And the only thing we use that it senses where my head is and where I am in connection with the robot. And then when I move, the robot tries to follow, but since there is a delay, it takes some time for it to get the information. It becomes this kind of dance, which is not, you can actually play with the dance thing. It's not, because it was perfect, and in time it would just move with me. But since it's different points sensing where I am, I can actually create this kind of more improvised dance with it. Then we put in the pulse, and it measures my pulse. It's a pulse meter that measures, basically, it measures my pulse. And you can see it on here, on this one. And you can also, this is like the subliminal message of the audience have to follow my pulse, because it's reflected in the light. So the light gives the feeling of my pulse all the time. And we have set some of the lines for the robot triggered by my pulse. actually end up in a position where I have to raise my pulse, find a way of raising my pulse so that the robot will say its line so that I can continue and in the piece. And then after that to calm myself down. Yesterday, for example, I was so nervous I actually didn't manage to calm myself down enough. So, yeah. And then lastly, okay. Maybe that's one. The last is this neuroscape. Before I get this, there I should actually explain how we do it. So we move through these the positions, 0, 1, 2, 3, and most of them are with program. The robot will say something, go somewhere, do something, and then we end up. I think it's like 51, and there you have the pulse meter, and then the control with this one is in this position. And then we move out of that to 52, and then it's programmed again to do stuff. Do you understand? When we have the sensors working, they are in a special point. This part of the performance we are controlling by sensors. But then to be able to continue and to make the robot actually do stuff and continue the story, then we go out of the sensor control and we are cued again with programmed movements. And finally comes this neurosky, which is like, don't try to ask me how it actually is working, because the company isn't really telling, or I don't know if they really know. They measure 3 things in my brain, something they call meditation. Meditation level, which is in this one, blue, right?
Green is attention.
And attention, which is green. Attention basically means that if you have too much associations, if you're not focused on, if your mind is firing to many different directions. Meditation means if you are calm, that I think it's like the beta waves are the more beta waves and stuff like that. I'm not pretty sure how it works. And when we go to a part when the robot is controlled by this mind wave at this time, it's doing 2 different things. One, it's moving the robot in the traverse depending on or 3 different things. One, depending on if I have a high attention, it most usually moves away from me, and if I'm relaxed, it comes towards me. At the same time, it's controlled by those values in this direction as well. And then it goes with red, means high attention, I think, doesn't it? And white means that I'm meditated, relaxed. So basically, we also use the eyes of the robot to try to convey very basically emotions. So red, it's angry, it's danger, and stuff like that. Yellow is a warning, and green is everything is nice, and white is more neutral, more machine-like.
So is it a big difference when you have audience and when you just play under it?
Yeah, it's much more difficult when there's an audience. Because then to make it say it, and when we have made it so to make it say its lines, I have to reach a certain level with attention to make it answer me, and then on some lines I have to reach a certain level of meditation. So it's like puts me through like a very long ball of trying to, and then at the same time trying to. If I didn't care at all how it would sense towards an audience, it's much easier. But when you have an audience, you want to find a way of making it part of the story. At the same time, to say it's a physical language on the stage, which makes it hard, basically. Yes, do you want to? Now you can't control it, can you?
The traverse is working.
Yeah. Do you want to try with the traverse? It's a possibility. Yeah.
So it moves when
Yeah.
it releases my...
When you're very relaxed, it comes towards you.
lights would actually change now.
Now I think,
No, you're not.
yeah, but maybe.
Yeah.
But it has no data right now.
What's wrong?
Well, probably,
You have to have it more, yeah.
maybe you have to press it in the beginning before.
Let's see. Because you have here also. But it's now it's green.
Yeah,
So
no,
it should be,
no,
yeah,
it
so
should
keep
work.
it there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I don't have an activity.
no, it should actually work. It could be that it's now. Oh yeah,
You're on another.
no, my computer crashed. So probably the program is running with my computer not. So probably there, was a problem with the data. Okay, so maybe I can restart, but right now it will probably not work. So I have to shut it down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little still tricky. There's some stuff which we.
So it would. No, you can take it off and put it on again when the computer is restarted.
Yeah, but you can leave it on. It takes.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
You actually thought you killed his computer with your brain.
Yeah, no, it's.
This would actually be the
in
biggest
many
problem.
ways.
Yeah.
In many ways.
That would be the biggest problem during performance if it's completely, everything crashes completely and it's. Then it takes time. Then it's difficult.
I mean,
Don't rush it. Everyone is relaxed.
I just.
What?
has to go to the shop.
Oh yeah. Now, what's happening? It's calibrated.
Yeah. One
So
second.
now we're just trying to find the position and
Leave it.
so maybe now we're back on. Oh, you're not so tall. It will not fit you in the head.
Arduino is the interface between the sensors and the computers, or is it in the robot? The Arduino part.
It's between the sensors go straight into your computer, right?
The sensors go first into my computer, and then into then I send the data to the small computers to the
Yeah.
Arduinos.
Okay.
So Arduino is controlling the motors actually. Or
Yeah, Arduino is controlling the motors, while I'm just sending data, and depending on the
Okay.
data it moves forward.
58.
Yeah, I just wait that we have.
Remind me.
That takes always a little bit of time.
We have to get the green value in the top.
Is it blue?
Yeah.
It's blue. Okay, then it's just a problem of the. Oh no. Need to do this. Hopefully, no.
Yeah, so it's actually a lot of. How many have you had? 6 Arduinos or? Should we turn it off and on again?
Or no, I've actually. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I don't know what actually happens right now.
Yeah, I don't me, I don't have to.
No, but maybe you can turn it on one time off and on because
here you will just do a quick.
the problem might be that it's
Yeah.
Tragedies.
no, the problem might be that it was still connected to the last session, and
Yeah.
if you don't turn it off.
So I turn it off now and I will turn it on again.
Okay, so I'll start again.
That's one of the horrible things when you work with this. That you realize the
That's-
fragility of technology and suddenly you have
Okay,
like,
you can turn it on again.
medical equipment and things like that and you start to think, oh, what would happen if it starts working?
Yeah, the problem is we're working basically also. I mean, this is a consumer product. It's all not very reliable technology. You have to consider this. And sometimes,
That's in red here.
yeah.
Now it's blue.
So today, for example, it worked earlier all very
Red,
well.
yellow.
And then,
Green.
okay, now we can
58.
try. 58.
Now comes your values. And now it's actually moving.
So
Suddenly everything is a bit more random.
yeah, the triggers also works.
Now it's it will trigger if you relax. One, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty high meditation level, so it goes forward.
Like anything can happen.
It's like if you're
Like we are too.
if you, for example, close your eyes and start to breathe or try to breathe,
You're quite good at it because
Yeah.
you're good at finding this.
then it's usually easier to reach, for example, meditation at a level.
So, how does he respond to it now?
It's like right now it's pretty confused because it gets like data which is like sometimes it's a high attention level, sometimes it's a high meditation level, and this is usually if the normal state of our brain we're talking.
But which one?
Now
Now you're really, really relaxed. And you're actually high on both.
no, yeah, she's high on both, and this is a bit of a problem because I know actually I
No,
think
it's not the problem.
it's not a problem because we're
But that means that's why it's
a
close.
meditation level. Yeah,
I think.
I mean you just need to look at the meditation level. If it's really high, it should be really close, and if it's not so high, it should go further away. The blue one is
The
meditation, and the red one, the green one is attention. Yeah, I will just.
First. Det var faktiskt hjälpande.
Ja, nej, jag kan inte folk känna det är lugnt. Du kan, tack för idag. Ja, kul. Ja, det gör det. Vi lärde oss ganska mycket idag också. Det är spännande. Ja, tack så mycket.
Hejdå!
Har du också tid att packa eller? Du har ingen del. Vi kommer väl inte hålla på så. Vi bara låta.
It's like, for example, the problem is also this one because it's a consumer product. Everyone has, for example, a different format. So it's.
Should I?
You should probably try to press it because it's yellow or something there. It says here's always all my connections, and it says it's yellow, so it receives some data. Now it's green. So if it's green, I don't know. The problem is I think it's not calibrated anymore, but we can see what happens actually.
We'll try to go more there maybe.
I think you have to go into 58. You can ask when it starts. You start.
Yeah, but I'm actually 58, but it crashed again. Damn it! I think it has a problem with, and it's actually the funny thing. It's a problem. It's actually not crashed. It's my computer.
Okay.
So
Are you here in the week?
I go back to Italy on Tuesday, but are you still working?
Yeah, we will be filming on Monday and stuff. So if you want to try it when it's working, you could come back.
maybe Monday I will be here.
Yeah.
Just
So then we will just leave it for now, and you should come in and if you have questions about the ring, or you want to try it, or you want to wait now and really.
I wanted to try it, but no, I will not.
When it's working, it's better.
I wanted to try more how controllable it is.
Oh yeah.
To see how I can go.
If you could use it for music and stuff.
No, I don't care. It's just
It's fun.
yeah, it's fun. I
Yeah.
don't believe anymore in interactions.
Cool. Thank you very much for coming. Är du på väg hem eller? Ses, vet du vad det är som gäller i veckan?
Opponering på onsdag.
Okej.
Någon som har lämnat in?
Har du lämnat in också? Nej.
Nej.
Det är du och jag. Ja, och John har lämnat in tror jag. Det är bara du och jag kvar där.
Och Stina.
Och Stina?
De har skjutit upp det.
Okej.
Alltså till nästa gång.
Jaha, okej.
Det är stressigt.
Ja, vi får se. Nej, egentligen inte. Jag kommer skriva om liksom själva bara bygget för att komma hit till den här tomten. Så allt material finns egentligen. Det kan bli stressigt om jag bestämmer mig för att ha jättemycket liksom, film. Vi får se, frågan om en vecka.
Tack så mycket. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we will be here, not tomorrow, but tomorrow is a free day for first one of our land. But on the whole Monday, so just drop by.
What the fuck? I hate it.
Well, it's exciting anyway. It's funny that I don't know what's paid or not, so...
But this is shit that the servo burned.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's super sad,
Yeah.
and now also my computer crashes all the time. I have more the feeling that it crashed because it gets so hot. Yeah.
Maybe you should have a stationary computer, not a laptop. Because they
Yeah,
get
we
hotter.
bought one, but I don't have the time to.
Because they are much better, more fences and more air inside it. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and some computers is a G5 I had, and that's much better
Yeah.
than the DOS.
Yeah, it's like a really stationary computer would be so much better.
Yeah.
But the thing is also we started small, and the result we end up here. And I was up in one point. It's like I have 3 USB ports, and I'm already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's already that is actually too much.
It's too
And
much.
then I also the problem I have 2 screens. I don't know why I came up with that one. Yeah.
It's also, if you have 2 screens, it's much work.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was an education.